Welcome, my young, adorable mathematician, to another core mathematics class. Today's class promises to be very interesting and quite informative. So I'll need you to get your materials ready because we're going to have a nice time. Bring out your core mathematics textbook, that is grade 4 module 2, and we'll be looking at lesson 4. Bring out your mathematics notebook and your pen as we solve together. Lesson 4. And you know what? Today you will be able to know and relate metric units to place value units, so that you'll be able to express measurement in different units. So at the end of the class today, you will be able to relate your metric unit to place value. That is interesting because you learned previously how to convert units, centimeters to meters, kilograms to kilograms, milliliters to liters, and vice versa. Now, we want to make it easier for you by relating that with your place value. Now, in our fluency today, we will briefly look at another measurements, which is perimeter and area. Remember what a perimeter is? All right. Perimeter is the distance around a figure. You can see that as a perimeter. All right, so to get the perimeter of a rectangle, all I need to do is to add up the length of all the sides. Now, the area is the distance covered. You can see is the space covered by the shape or the figure. So to get the perimeter of this shape, because this is easy because it's on a grid, so I can just add up, count the number of squares I have on each side, and then add them up and get my answer. So let's see, what is the length of the longer side? It's what? 6 units. Remember, this is a rectangle, and in a rectangle, opposite sides are what? Equal. So what will be the length of the opposite side? Great, it's 6 units. You're supposed to have drawn this in your notebook and in fact written the dimensions. So please, I want you to do just that. So what did you write as the length of the shorter side? Okay, let's add up these sides first. Okay, 6 units plus 6 units will give us what? 12. Beautiful. So what will be the length of the shorter side? Is what? Yes, 4 units. And what will be the opposite side? I know you have already done that in your notes. And what did you write? 4 units. Great, you are intelligent. So let's add up the length of the shorter sides, and we have 4 plus 4 to give us what? 8. Okay, 8. So to get the length of the distance round the figure, we'll add all the sides. So we have 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. And what's the answer? Beautiful. That is what? 20 units. And remember, we said the distance round a figure is what we call what? Perimeter. Okay, so our perimeter is equal to 20 units. Now, to get our area, we said to get the area, all we need to do is to multiply the length of the longer side to the length of the shorter side. So our area will be 6 times 4, which will give us what? 24. 24. That's great. Now we want to compare units of length and place value. What you have here is a place value chart, which you're very familiar with. Now let's place the place values on the charts. What will be here? This is your ones. Great. Okay, now the next column gives us what? The tens. And the next we have our hundreds, and the next is our thousands. Can you see that? You notice that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So you can see a relationship between ones and hundreds. So it's just like I have one bundle of 100. So if I unbundle it, I'll have my smaller units, which will give me 100 ones. This time around, in terms of the smaller unit, I'll have it as 100 centimeters. So that tells us that 1 meter is similar to 100 ones. And when we relate this to kilograms and grams, it will be in terms of thousands and ones. When I unbundle 1,000, I will have 1,000 ones. But this time around, since our units will be in terms of grams, I'll write in grams. So it will be 1,000 grams to give us 1 kilogram. And 1,000 milliliters too will also give us 1 liter. You know, you always have to remember this relationship because it helps you to convert correctly. Now, having said that, we want to answer some questions. 1 meter, 20 meters will give us how many centimeters? I need you to do this very fast in your notebook. Okay? Yes, the answer is 120 centimeters. Okay, now the next one, 1 meter, 80 centimeters. You know what to do, of course. Change 1 meter to centimeters. That will give us 100 plus 80, and the answer is what? 180 centimeters. And the next, what was your answer? 204 centimeters. In case you wrote 240, please, I want you to take note of where the mistake is made. All right, you're supposed to add 4 to 200 meters. That's 200 centimeters. Okay, now the next one will be converting grams to kilograms. Just ask yourself, how many grams do I have in this number? And what's the answer? It's just 1. So that tells me that I have just 1 kg, and what is left gives me my grams. That's 500 grams. I'll do the same thing. I have just 1,000 there, and that's the 1 kg, and what is left there is 30. I'll do the same thing here. All right, and what is left there is just what? Did you say 5 or 500? If you said 5, that's great. It's 5 grams. Okay, 1 liter, 700 milliliters to milliliters. Change the 1 liter to milliliters. That will give us 1,000 milliliters plus 700, and we have 1,700 milliliters. Do the same thing here. The next one, we'll have 1,070, and the last one is what? 1,008 milliliters. This is great. I'm happy to know that you are catching up very fast and your answers are right. Okay, now let's do a little unit counting. Here I have 500 milliliters. We're counting in 500s. So we have 500 milliliters, add 500, it gives us 1,000 milliliters, 1,500, 2,000 milliliters, 2,500 milliliters, 3,000 milliliters. Everything here is in terms of milliliters. And when you count down backward, you have 2,500 milliliters, 2,000 milliliters, 1,500 milliliters, 1,000 milliliters, and 500 milliliters. Now we're doing the same counting, but this time around we're recognizing the fact that 1,000 milliliters will give us 1 liter. So I have 500 milliliters. Instead of writing 1,000 milliliters, I'll write 1 liter. You can see that. Instead of writing 2,000 milliliters here, what do we have? 2 liters. So in place of 3,000 milliliters, what are you supposed to have? 3 liters. Beautiful. Then you count backward. All right, 2,000 milliliters, 2 liters, and like that. Then the next time, we're still counting. Okay, here, even the units that have the numbers that we have, we can have liters and milliliters. We'll write them in that form. So I have 500 milliliters, 1,000 liter. Here we have 1,500 milliliters. But if you take note, we can actually have 1 liter coming out from here because I have 1,000. So that's just what we did here. 1 liter, 500 milliliters. And here I have 2,500 milliliters, which is written as 2 liters now. 500 milliliters. Okay. Then we have 1,500 milliliters, which is written here as 1 liter, 500 milliliters. Now that's how easy it can be. Now let's take our application problem. Yes, we have a very interesting question here. All right, the question says that Marshall poured 1 liter 460 milliliters of water into a beaker over 3 days. Some of the water evaporated. On the 4th day, 979 milliliters of water remained in the beaker. How much water evaporated? Okay, so what will be the solution? I want you to look at the question critically and understand it first. Okay, he poured an amount of water, part of it evaporated. Evaporation means that part of the water left the surface of the water. So what does that tell you? What operation will be applied? Addition, subtraction? Yes, what did you say? Okay, let's see. We'll have our tape diagram. All right, here I have the total. This side represents the total. All right, and this other side represents the part remaining and the parts that evaporated. Can see that? So I have 979 milliliters remaining. The part that evaporated is represented with a letter. Okay, we can see that. So what do? We subtract. Great. So we have to write our numbers. 1,460 milliliters minus 979 milliliters. Then we solve. Okay, now before we solve, we need to do the carrying so that it will be easier for us. All right, I know that 0 minus 9 is not possible, so I need to do some carrying. I want you to do it in your notebook first. Just do the subtraction. Okay, now let's see if what you have is the same thing as what I have. Though I believe in you, so I know that your answer will be right. Okay, now because I cannot subtract directly, I need to carry. So I've carried 1 here. So I have 10 minus 9, and it gives us what? 1. Of course, 16 minus 7 is not possible. Of course, I borrowed 1, so it's remaining 5. So I have to borrow 1 again. Now 15 minus 7 to give us what? 8. And then since we borrowed 1 from 4, it was remaining 3. We have to borrow the last one, which is 1. As we have 13 minus 9 to give us 489. And then we will not forget our units. It's very important in mathematics. So what does this tell us? That 481 milliliters of water evaporated. Okay, so that is what we have. Very easy, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite easy. Okay, let's convert on a number line. I have 0 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. Now I want to convert. So 1 kilometer is how many meters? Of course, you already know that. It's what? 1,000 meters. And 2 kilometers is what? Great. It's correct. 2,000 meters. Okay, and the last question, how many centimeters equal 1 kilometer? Always remember the relationship as we explained. All right, you know there's a connection between your number, place value, and the conversion. So remember that relationship, and this makes the conversions easier for you. So I know that I have 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, but in each 1,000 I have 100 centimeters. Then that helps me to be able to solve. I know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters and 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So what do you think we should do to get our answer? In each one of the 1,000 I have 100. So it's like 100 is repeating itself 1,000 times. So what do? Correct. We multiply. So therefore, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 times 100. Yes, 1000 times 100. And the answer is 1 kilometer will give us what? What's your answer? 100,000 centimeters. So just by knowing the relationship, remembering the relationship, all right, relating it to your place value, it makes conversions very easy. Okay, now we have here 7,330 meters to be converted. Okay, the first one has been converted, so we have 7 kilometers 230 meters. Now I want you to do the rest very fast in your mathematics notebook first. 7,240 meters will give us what? Of course, you know that we have just 7,000 there, and that tells us how many kilometers we'll have. That is 7 kilometers 240 meters. And the next will give us what? Okay, 7 kilometers 250 meters and 7 kilometers 260 meters. This is actually very interesting, and I know that you have enjoyed every bit of the class. So start solving the questions in the problem sets. But you know what? We're going to do part of the work together. Yes, so I need you to have your notes with you, the Commerce textbook. Of course, you're supposed to have brought that out even before now. And let's see. Now I have my units. All right, you can see them. 100. I have one here, 100, and I have 100. So centimeter, what is the larger units? The larger unit is what? My meter. And what is the relationship? I have 100. You can see that 100. So 100 centimeters will give me what? 1 meter. Always remember this relationship. It helps us in converting. And the next one, you can see that. All right. Now we're talking about our grams. Okay. So what is the larger units? The larger unit is kilogram. And what is the relationship? The number here relating the two or connecting the two of them is 1,000. So that tells us that 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. All right. So with this, I believe you'll be able to do the rest. I want you to do that and get everything, because I believe you can. Okay. So it's been a nice time. All right, teaching you in this class, and I know you will do your work, because I need to see your work completely done. When you're through, take a snapshot of your work and upload to the portal. This is lesson 4 of the problem set of lesson 4. When you're done with that, later on you will also answer the questions in your homework sets. Okay, so do that. Take a snapshot of your work, upload to the portal for grading. All right, so that's what we have. Okay, so thank you very much and see you soon.